Hi, Christ Chapel. Pastor Ryan Baker here. I'm so glad to be giving the call to worship by video this week. Last week, Deborah Barbie, who was the worship leader last week, gave us a call to worship meditation in written form. And I got to tell you, it really helped me and helped focus me and my family as we began to sing the same songs that you folks were singing. And it was a way to unite us, is to have those songs being sung, knowing that my friends and my fellow church members were worshiping God with the same scriptures and the same words and the same meditation direction. So I bring it to you by video this week. And the call to worship comes from Psalm chapter 46, verses 10 through 11. And it reads this: "Be still and know that I am God. I will be honored by every nation. I will be honored throughout the world. The Lord of heaven's armies is here among us. The God of Israel is our fortress." And what's wonderful is that there's no pandemic or virus or any sort of situation that will make this cease. God's people will, throughout the world, God's people in every nation will be worshiping Him, will be honoring Him, will be lifting up His name. And yes, while we might not be gathering in ways that we love to, God's name is going to be praised. That word fortress in that passage reminded me of a hymn that the church has been singing for centuries. A mighty fortress is our God. And in fact, in our worship set this week, we have two hymns that declare God's power and strength, both the supremacy and the sufficiency of Christ, and our utter helplessness and powerlessness without Him. A mighty fortress is our God was written by Reformer Martin Luther between 1527 and 1529, and inspired by that psalm, Psalm 46. Verses 1 and 2 and verses 7 and 11. And then the lyrics to "'Tis So Sweet to Trust in Jesus" was written by a woman named Louisa Stead, who gave her life to Christ actually at the age of 9 and later became a missionary to Africa for many years. The song, however, was inspired by personal tragedy. The death of her husband trying to rescue a boy from drowning. From a place of pain, we are drawn to the truth that our precious Jesus is sufficient for our salvation, and we can put our trust, all of our trust, in Him no matter what we are going through. And as we move on and sing along with Audrey Assad's song, "Restless," be drawn into the invitation of God's perfect rest amidst the restlessness of life and even the restlessness that can creep in our own hearts and minds from fear or worry, or even we're not even sure why we're restless. We just are. But in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28, Jesus invites us to come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Lastly, Pastor Jeff asked for the song "Take Courage" by Kristen Diamarco. The simple and powerful line in that song that is repeated throughout is, "He's in the waiting. He's in the waiting." And it reminds us that God's gift of grace sometimes comes to us in unusual and unexpected ways. And Pastor Jeff has asked us this question this week: what is God showing us in these days of waiting for what is next? So let's sing these songs together, even though we are apart. Let's worship Him. Amen.